giving people, that freedom to do and explore has a negative connotation. Like people take it too far and mess it up.
Let me go first. Yeah, interesting. Like it's an interesting double-edged question that you ask. Because yes, I do believe fearlessness 105%. Like there are so many examples we can pull from. There's the entire feature list on this project who are doing their own thing in their own space, and they are not caring about who is talking, and they are doing their thing. Interestingly, okay, and there's that, like there's Lamem guy.
Yeah.
There's Lamem. I will always refer to them. These guys got up and they are doing their thing, and they don't care. And they are killing it. There's Amare. She's smashing it everywhere, every day, everywhere. So, I mean, on the good parts, there's that. On the bad part, I think it depends on what exactly, the content exactly you're pushing out. Because there's almost a market for almost anything, or up to everything now. Yeah. So, you might be pushing out some content which might not be the best. And there's a group of people which might relate to it. So on the downside, they relate to it, so that is what they are going to mess with. Yeah. A lot of reason why people aren't able to get out of routine, which doesn't take them very far, or as far as they would want to be, is because of fear. Yeah. And fear is something that has held me personally back in a lot of situations. So I'm still like learning to shed that. Yeah. So it's all good, and like there's always learning to pick from it. So.
Anything you want to add or share?
I think he said it all. Okay.
Now, before I come to the outro, another song which you mentioned, Omi Bono, which you released in 2016, 2 years ago. But as I told you earlier, listening to the song still sounds fresh. Yeah. And you can feel the techno, you can feel the, Afro vibes and so on and so forth.
Textured very well.
Yeah, it's very textured. And that's Odunsi.
Yeah.
And
shout out.
Yeah.
Big shout out. Massive shout out.
And the two of you have personal relationship with Odunsi.
Yeah.
Yes. So was it his idea? Did you discuss the project with him, or you just told him that, okay, we want you to, give us a song like that, we put it out as a single?
Omi Bono. I think Omi Bono was probably one of the most interesting stories of the whole project, because Odunsi we met when we were in HSC, and he was so about his music. So him and I started discussing, and he was like, he's ready to do different types of music, and he produces and wanted to do a lot of things. I was like, oh, fine, send me beats. Let's see what we can do. And he sent me a couple. I was like, yeah, that's cool. And him and I had a few discussions, and I tried to plug him into the space. And then all of a sudden, he had to go back to Nigeria. So Omi Bono happened while he was in Nigeria.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he ghosted on us for like a couple of months because he had to go back and settle down and figure out what he wanted to do going forward. And then I also think he was also discovering himself musically and trying to figure out what's sound and how he wants to go about everything. So I was there, and we had discussed the IFKR thing. We had discussed putting together a song for IFKR. And I remember telling him specifically house EDM. And then I didn't hear anything from him. Then all of a sudden one day he just sent me a voice note on WhatsApp. And it was him in the studio with the Omi Bono beats playing in the background. And you know how the song starts, it's just a heavy bum, 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 ba-dum, bum. I'm like, hey, what's all this?
This is what they're going for here.
So I said to F, and F was like, nah, this is crazy. So I was like, Charlie, so this project was like, this is the IFKR project. And I was like, whoa, I was blown away. So I was like, nah, you need to hurry up and wrap this up and send me the final cut and everything. And then I think about 2 or 3 days after that, I was in my inbox. Yeah, so Odusi is one of the people on this project that I would say has one of the biggest influences throughout the whole project, and he held us down. From production, he produced about three songs on the project, and he gave his vocals to Omibono. Yeah. And this was at a time when Omibono came out, when we and Kasa, we didn't know where we were taking it to. Omibono came into our emails, and we just hyped. And it was at the time, if you listen to what came out after Omibono from Odusi, it was the project he did. Two. Very different sound. So the way he was able to do Omibono and then still go and do this nice vibey too crazy. So there, Charlie, if I get $1 million one day, he'll be the first person I give my money. So Charlie,
go blow. The outro has Johnny.
Man like
your own Johnny. The MC,
man like Stone.
The MC Stone.
Man like Stone.
The vibe.
I know. Aside the relationship, he sounded like somebody who is dropping some spoken word type of stuff on the outro. He's an MC, obviously, and you are friends with him. You work with him. Yeah. Was that the major reason you put him on? Or
was it? Was it random? But look, let's all be very honest with ourselves. And I like the fact that a lot of the things on this project here came about so randomly, so generically. And I think that's also part of the truth of the music that you hear, is because nothing was forced, right? If you can't do it, you can't, then we move on. If you do it and you score it, thank you, we move on. The conversation was, Charlie, we get intro, we get 8 tracks, and I kept listening to it back to back, and I was like, the way it ends, the situation with me, Charlie, we need something to let people understand that it's over. Yeah. Now we can't do what
I was also thinking that we needed something to complement the intro.
The intro.
Of like, this is what we are trying to do.
Exactly.
So I needed something to like end. It's like, okay, so now you've seen what's going on. Yeah, I'll be your Bob. Okay, good. Yeah. So that's where my head was at.
Okay. So why Johnny Stone? Like I said, I was just trying to F1. I was like, I think what happened, I think I did a project. Might have been when either the Cake project came out or Do Some came out. And Johnny and I were talking about he also wants to try out a couple of things. I was like, oh, we have an EP coming up, so you go like do the outro? I was like, oh yeah, mind day for the outro. I had no idea what he was going to come and do. But I just was like, oh, I read a message. I was like, what be your mind if Johnny does outro? I was like, me too, you don't get a problem. But what did they come do? That's literally what I don't know. But let's see what he comes and does. And I think that was the whole project in a nutshell. What about this person? What's he going to do? Look, we see. Then we go. So yeah, I think at the end of the day too, like, it all goes back to the relationship we had with Johnny. Like, we were working with him at the time. We understood where he was coming from. It was also, now like Johnny's career is just building up, and it's getting to a boiling point, literally. So I feel like him being on the project is just, I think it's just brilliant for us because it speaks to everything that we've been able to achieve since we started and the people that we've met along the way. And I think ending with Johnny 2 is perfect because of what we've set up at Serralio, the struggles we've been through. Charlie, me and Johnny, they fight. The first time I met Johnny was a fight. Like, yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah, it was actually a fight. Johnny said he go ban me from Champs. But, and that's the beauty of it. Like, it was, let's lean on the relationship, but let's also make sure that whatever comes out of what they're going to do is perfect. So,
something we can work with.
Yeah. Now, let's tell me about some of the challenges. I know we've mentioned across this interview how the two of you will get the vocals, go through it, send it back to the artist, to re-record or to rework, to mix, to mix, to get the perfect sound you're looking for. Were there moments where the two of you creatively, you felt like creative difference made you, shelve some songs or take some artists off this whole project?
If we're going to talk about creative difference between me and FKR, we're not going to finish today.
Yeah. It's very interesting that we've actually gotten here, to be honest. It's very interesting. And that's something that I like about our relationship the most. Because, like, there's this balance of, let's go, we are ready, we should be doing this. And I'm like, no, we should work on this more. So, sometimes, like, okay, not sometimes. What usually happens is, not what usually happens.
Actually.
I mean, the balance, like, we complement each other.
Yeah.
Okay, so sometimes I understand that we need to move, or in hindsight, I'm like, okay, if we had gone ahead with this, we would have been done by now. We've wasted time. Yeah. And for him to, in hindsight, sometimes he's also like, yeah, maybe we sitting on this for a while has actually helped because we've been able to refine it better and this and that and this and that. Aside that, the major challenge for me was trying to finish school and trying to work with this at the same time. And then jumping right into service. Yeah, because they are still trying to figure out what's going on in the working world. Like, up to like 2-3 months of working, you're still not completely sure what it is. And, you're doing gigs in between that and you're trying to measure if should I really be here because I'm here and then I'm getting this pay at the end of the month. Is it really worth it? Should I just stop? And you have to deal with your house people at the same time. So, like, it's a lot of, like, there was a lot of moving parts. And they are still trying to get vocals. They are still trying to see if these vocals are dope. And at the same time, you are listening to, like, other people. So, you are listening to this Sango record. And you're like, nah, Charlie. Yeah, so, you see, now the world is small. Like, everybody can get a record and put it up on Spotify by, like, the next day. So, like, you're really in competition with everybody. So, you have to make sure you are killing it, like, everywhere. So, yeah, like, the challenge is, and there was also money. A lot of it was funded, like, just between both of us.
All of it.
All of it. I mean, aside the favors, a lot of it was just, like, done by us. Transport up and down everywhere, paying people to do this. All of that. Some of the features you had to pay, all of that. You had to pay all of it out about that. So, it was like, that was also a challenge. Yeah.
By the end of the day, the record is done.
Yeah,
there's some fulfillment.
Yeah, I'm so happy. I'm so happy that we are here. So happy.
Now, the personal history between the two of you.
Yeah.
I should say alumni, but you met on campus.
Yeah.
I remember talking with F and he telling me how he got, into this whole DJing thing. Right. And it was you who literally showed him the ropes.
Literally.
From your point of view, why did you decide to, work with
F
from way back in school?
Hey, because he annoyed me into it now. Look, one thing is, when I got to Ashesi, at the time, there was like one person who was the DJ. Jesus Christ. Like, I'm not trying to like shade anybody or like that's literally what it was. Like there was one guy, he was the DJ. If Big Paya, we moved to him. If it's a room party, school party, whatever, he get all the tracks, he get the PC, he did do. And I came in low key. I had my experience in South Africa and I came in and I was like, I'm not coming here to do DJ things. And I don't know what happened one day where I vexed where I go play some party. 2015,
it was a class party.
Yeah.
And then there was like, okay, so we are going to organize the party. Who DJ? Who do this?
Exactly.
And Kev was just like, okay, I'll do it. And Kev was annoying the whole class, to be honest. So when he said he was going to do it,
everybody was like,
yeah.
But the two no boys said you did, so you let's leave him. So that's what it was. Okay,
and then it turns out that I did pretty decent. And at the time too, Franklin, one thing I've always known about Franklin is, Charlie, he's a music head. Franklin consumes music at a high intensity. I can't even keep up. Like, Franklin will always be listening to something. So we'll go to Franklin's room and there's some new record that's dropped, some new album that's dropped. They're discussing this rapper, this thing has happened. Charlie, I'll go and sleep. Because if it's music discussions in Franklin's room, we'll never finish. So one day I was like, but you, the way you did love music like that, why don't you DJ? Because I can't also be that one person that DJs on campus. It doesn't make sense. It was like, you don't really think about blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay, you, Charlie, open the laptop, no could go. I start showing some 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And no, your man fell in love. No, your man fell in love. So for me, like, I could say maybe it was a selfish decision, but also it was a very informed decision because I realized that, one, I did not want to do Ashesi parties alone. I didn't want to be the only person on campus that does this. You understand? Yeah. I wanted us to have a community. And also, I also believe that, Charlie, sometimes you can't have a monopoly on things. It won't take you far. So for me, it wasn't just Franklin. It was Franklin and like 2, 3 other guys. All of us at the same time would. And then eventually I was like, yo, are you ready to play a gig? Can we go? Can we move? Can we go and do this? And your man went to play his first gig. That was a sorry for him to tell, but I feel like
it's on the blog. Yeah, it's on the blog. You can go and read it. It's on the blog. Go to that blog. Yeah.
But I think deciding to work with F at the time was easy. Continuing to work with F was not easy. Okay. But that's just because of the type of people we are. Like he said, I'm very impatient, and if it's ready, we must go. And he'll be there like, Charlie,
there's something more.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll feel hit about Charlie, gig party, you won't play, let me see you. Charlie, sometimes I go like Bedo. Like, that was F. And yeah, but we stuck it out to the point where, Charlie, I understand him. So if he fools, I know what to do. Then I take my head, I go.
And that relationship is still continuing, resulting in. And F, even though you've talked about how Kev, brought you to the game, how has it been?
How has it been working with
apart from the creative, approach and all that, like he being Kev, the person, not the DJ.
I think what I appreciate most about Kevin is that Kevin was ready to teach. You know how when you do something, like how you're a blog and somebody comes, I want to be a blogger. For the first up to you're not going to take them serious because there's something to start for 1, 2 and they're like, put it down. Yeah, but when I started with Kev is like, oh yeah, come, do this, try this. How do you do this? So I can come and meet him just randomly open his laptop and he's DJing, just sitting somewhere, listening to headphones. How did you do that? And it's like, oh yeah, just do this. So over time, very small, he was ready to teach. At basically any time that I met him doing something, he was almost always ready to teach. And I mean, he was also, Kev is also open to give you opportunity to do yes, come and do this gig. Are you ready? Yeah, even if you're not, you just come and stand there and do it because this is what you are going to learn. So hey. Yeah, so being open to give opportunity and being open to teach, being open to lead people into not the best of techniques, not the best of techniques,
but it works.
Yeah,
ultimately works.
Yeah, at the end of the day, just being ready to give the hand out. Yeah.
Kev, every DJ has his low point, an embarrassing moment for him.
Oh, yeah.
Now I want to hear yours.
Why? We are with Franklin.
You all know mine.
Nobody knows yours.
No, Franklin has. Okay. It's on the blog.
Okay.
You should go check it out.
Okay, so when you do a blog about me, then I'll put it there. Charlie, this is a story that I only talk face to face.
But there have been gigs where you've been appreciated. Mm-hmm. There are moments where you play and you realize that this is which one party comes to mind immediately.
Just recently, Anonymous. Yeah. Anonymous because, I don't know if every other DJ goes through this, but there's a time when you start your set and as a decent person, you should at least look out at what's happening in front of you. Scope the crowd. So Anonymous, I played my first set and then I took a break and I came back. At the beginning of my second set, it was static. There was really no movement. People had relaxed. They were now drinking, chatting. So I looked down and I started playing. And I played. And 30 minutes later, I looked up and I was like, yay. Squad. And I just felt the energy and I gave back the energy, and there was this whole sort of vibe. So Charlie, when I was done with that set, I was like, yeah, that was those moments that you live for. It's when you know that you've played for people, like people were literally, their shirts were wet with sweats. They were shouting. There was a circle. There was everything you expect to be at a crazy party. When you drop certain songs and the reaction you get from it because of the song you were playing previously, you're like, I wasn't ready. All of it. So that just is the one that sticks out in my mind right now. But there's been a lot. Another one was Afrochella. Last year, December. Yeah. Afrochella 2 was crazy. And it was also now like all the performances were done. And it was now either people are going to go or we're going to jam. I was like, okay, let's see what we can do. And I ended up looking up, seeing official Kwame standing on a chair or somebody's shoulder or something. I'm like, dude, champion. Where they go? Where they go? Yeah, there have been moments like that.
For me, recently, I would say it's the Rain. Yeah. The recent collaborations with Rain. So there was the one at T-Bar. Yeah, the first one. Very insane. Just very insane. I opened and it was the same. I like to open sets. I mean, if anyone knows, I like to open. Because during the open, that's when people are coming through and vibing and stuff like that. And I like to play music that... I'm not sure how to say this, but then I don't...
Just say it.
Censor yourself.
Tally. Okay, back to... Yeah, I like to play opening sets because like people are just more perceptive, like they are now settling in. Yeah. So you can get them to just vibe with you. And yeah, I enjoy music that's like music you can vibe to, not necessarily like turn all the way up. That's another thing, and it's a different high altogether. But I also get a high from people just chilling and vibing because I think maybe because it does match my personality. So I did the opening set, and then more sound came and killed it in the middle. And I came back and shut it down. Yeah. It was the same thing. People were all over the place, jumping up and down on tables, on chairs. Yeah, it was all of that. So quite recently, those three, we've done three so far. There was that one, there was
the last
the
one.
R&B. Yeah, R&B.
R&B.
Was. I've been looking for a space to just like chill out and play R&B for a long time. And so Rain, I would say I like them because like working with them, I've had like the opportunity to just feel at home and
Rain really suits your style of play.
And yeah, it does really suit my style of play. So I've just had like the opportunity to just kick back and do what I want to do. And the third one was recently the Goods Market, Accra Goods Market. I did that with Kev, the other FXB. Yeah. So Goods Market was also dope. I did like in the morning and I did extensively in the evening. So it was also a vibe. And then all time. I think it will be the Republic one. That day was crazy.
That was the day the bar...
That day was crazy. Wait, even in the Republic, there's been two. There was one FXP one. That's the bar. The bar was sold out. All their drinks were done. So they were like, yeah, you guys have killed it. So right now, if you still want jam, continue. But we will know if you still drinking. So yeah, however you do them. And it was dope because like we're doing 4 DJs at the time. We did 4 DJs that day. So I'm mixing into Kev is mixing into Bela is mixing into Carl, and we just kept it going. Like, no hold back. It was just fire, back to back records. Sold out their stuff. And then when we did the IFKR one together, unofficial, because it was just so unexpected. Just so even concerts at Republic don't get that lit. Yeah, and it was just a Friday, and out of nowhere. We didn't even expect. Yeah, it was, and it was like hard EDM. Like we weren't even playing local music. It was hard back to back, like the Diplo, the Skrillex, the heavy beat, all of that. Like, yo, it was wild. It was just a wild experience. I
remember the Hamatan Rain R&B thing.
Right.
I was talking with Oku, and he was like, he's there to see you play because he's never seen you play R&B stuff, and he knows R&B jams are not really, within your scope, your taste of music. But I was there; those throwbacks were like challenge, and the Beyonce. Ending.
I'm sorry. The Beyonce ending.
The Beyonce ending. That was like the icing.
It
was a perfect
EXO,
night.
EXO, the queen. I stand a queen.
So going forward, IFKR, this one definitely is going to come out. Pretty soon.
Right now we don't have a choice.
Yes. It's done.
There's no going back.
If you fail to drop it, there's going to be a demo. We're going to boycott any show Kev and DJ F will be on. We're going to boycott. We raise storm on all over social media that boycott these two.
Boycott.
But going forward, you mentioned earlier that you have some projects in the works. I don't know when it's going to come, probably, but after this, what's next for you guys?
I've already started. Like, I already have ideas for what we are doing next. And I think the best part of this is that, like, see the process. The best part is to see how, go through the process. See how things work. Get to know people. Get to build relationships. Get to see how things flow. So, it's very good that we've had this learning experience. So moving forward, like I've already started getting ideas about what we can do next. So moving forward, I would say you just expect more from it. Just expect some stuff. After the dust settles from this one, then we are not going to be joking. Like we are going to be out here in the streets.
You'll be mentioning Diplo, Skrillex. Those global, DJs.
I think
breaking grounds and selling arenas and stuff like that. When I know it's premature, to talk about this, but I know one day you'll be hoping to do same.
Oh yeah, no, definitely very
sell
soon.
The Accra Sports Stadium or something.
Charlie, forget Accra Sports Stadium. Forget that. That's not even the motivation. That's not even motivation, Charlie. We are going to do what's it called? Ultra. Tomorrowland. We're going to be those DJs from Ghana that came to play and killed it at Ultra. Not Ultra SA, forget this. Ultra Miami. Ultra, I don't know, wherever else, Charlie. But that's for me, that's the motivation. Like the day I step up onto the Ultra stage or the Tomorrowland stage, and I look next to me, and I have to look down small because it's F. Then, then that'll be where, that's the motivation. And it's so possible, like I really know that right now is just us, we just need to reach out and grab it. After this, it's just going to come a lot closer.
One step at a time.
One step at a time. Said it.
So, anything more we can talk about.
I think that'd be cool.
That's a special.
So when the Rain 2-1 starts.
And I'm so late. So the project is gonna come out now. Your final words, I'll give it to you. Tell the fans the mayhem the project is going to cause. Should it drop? And when they should look forward to it.
No, I don't get anything. This one you be waiting.
The mayhem is going to cause. Look,
mayhem.
Mayhem. Mayhem.
The earthquake.
It's going to cause a disruption. That much I know. And it's going to cause a disruption because it's going to be artists that you're comfortable with. When you listen to them doing what you're comfortable with them doing, it's something completely different. And you enjoying it. That disruption in itself within you is going to push you to do something. When to expect it? Coming soon.
Coming soon.
You know that.
Yeah. But essentially, as Kev said, and speaking of disruption, this project was made also to motivate people to do what they want to do. Get out of your comfort zone, like fearlessness.
Shout out to
Get out. Yeah, do what you want. Just get out and do what you want to do. Yeah, like take away the fear and just do what you feel like doing. Because holding yourself back, my mind, like there's so much potential we all do have, and there's much more we can do. So yeah, that's one of the main inspirations and what we think or what we aspire to push people to do when the project drops. And yeah, it's coming out in a few weeks, essentially.
So you've been listening to the convo with F, the DJ, and DJ K3V, who have a project coming. You have no idea.
IFKR.
That's the name of the project.
But you also have no idea.
Yes, you have no idea. Until you hear it, you have no idea. The name is Wicked. I've done this for Cool Art Blog. You can find us across all social media. And also subscribe to our YouTube page, Cool Art Blog. Also like, comment, and share when the video drops. That one do put inside.
You can your machine before you went.
It's almost there.
Right? I was supposed to. I get what?
So let's make hype.
You I'll copy him.
Make an airdrop give you.
Yeah, sharp. Send it to.
Somebody that video the guy is public point.